Good evening to my fellow Snyder fans, and let's talk about what's going down with with well, let's let's talk about this new Suicide Squad game and how and what this could mean going forward with James Gunn going forward with his DCU, as well as how other information about the rest of this Snyderverse, whether or not we should keep fighting for the Snyderverse or throw it all away, not just out of fear or out of stress, but also because of people throwing pitches in to what they want to see out of Matthew Vaughn and Henry Cavill. First off, while I am paranoid about what's yet to come in the future regarding some scary massacreish pandemic caused by disease X, I'm also feel a little conflicted, and I've been feeling conflicted lately on whether or not we may actually be able to pull off restoring the Snyderverse and getting back on track to where we left off and where we were held back from getting to because of Warner Brothers executives and their shareholders causing so much problems and so much shakeup. Also, what I've been hearing from the fans of the Arkham games, they really don't seem very happy. Man, that new game that's yet to come out is getting so much backlash because not only is it set in the Arkhamverse years after Arkham Knight, but also what frustrates a lot of people is how much disrespect these people at Rocksteady have treated Batman and other Justice League members lately, and every other problematic aspects of its content. Aside from whatever bugs that came up that caused the Rocksteady to take the software off the servers and stuff, many fans have been anguished and angry and shocked and appalled that these new people at Rocksteady would go full length on killing off legacy characters in a top hit video game universe, which I really admire. Pardon me, it's getting late, but I enjoyed playing the Batman Arkham games, going back from Asylum to City to Origins, and my favorite of all video games, Arkham Knight, because you're able to explore the city, go into buildings, take on thugs non-stop, and so many villains too. Quite an adventure. Now, things are about to get even crazier by the minute now. And, well, this year, people were complaining that the Rocksteady game company has disrespected Kevin Conroy by having Harley Quinn kill her off in the new S Squad game after he died on November 2022 at age 66. Some of them are also upset that the Flash was getting, pissed on by Captain Boomerang after he died, which really is disrespectful. I mean, God, yeah. I'm glad I haven't picked it up yet. Plus, well, I have other things to do around here besides video games most of my lifetime. Stuff that's more healthy, like drawing and stuff. Sorry, guys. Also, not only do other members of Justice League get killed off, but even Brainiac looks completely awkward. He does look badass, but he looks so weird looking. It almost looks like he is depicted as some queer-looking alien. Pale white-skinned rather than his signature green. God! He looks like Ebony Maw from Marvel. I mean, God. And we never even got... We never even got to see... Yeah. While I'm still looking to bail out on seeing James Gunn's garbage Superman Legacy movie because of WB's habit of being repetitive with overusing Lex Luthor as the villain all the time out of laziness, ego-driven narcissism. I also, well, seeing how they managed to need to keep my guard up, because if Rocksteady could get away with killing off legacy characters in a popular video game franchise like the Arkhamverse, we should still be prepared for what is to come out of Gunn's universe if he intends to comically erase Zack's DCU using Batmite in the Peacemakers series, if the rumors are true. Also, I kind of forget where I left off. But, oh yeah, Matthew Vaughn. He says he's pitching in to have Henry Cavill star in a Red Son live-action movie adaptation of Superman Red Son, which does feature Brainiac as the core villain of the storyline, but what makes it a problem for me is not only would this how can I put it, divide our interests of having Cavill return for Man of Steel 2, and not only would we not be able to tell whether this kind of live adaptation would get made or not, depending on how long our government's differences with Russia right now since 2013 continue to last. But what bothers me about it is how it's designed as propaganda against communism in Russia. Now, I'm not a communist. I don't intend to go that far. I like to keep myself as a more independent socialist, left-leaning independent socialist who is more with social conservative views, because of how aware I am of what to expect out of this Great Reset. Now, back to the thing. What really bothers me is how Superman Red Son would be used as a propaganda, as anti-Russian propaganda, and how it would be so problematic to folks around the world now. The war in Ukraine is very controversial. I don't want to go too far because it involves who really started it. I can't give you an answer because I'm not gonna risk getting banned off YouTube, but I'm sure there are plenty of people on YouTube that can provide you with that answer. Because really, it's too controversial. And it wouldn't be worth much of our satisfaction as Man of Steel 2, which people would like to have it referred to as Man of Tomorrow. Wow. Gosh. World's getting crazier, guys. Sure, some of you could jump on the Superman Red Sun bandwagon with Matthew Vaughn. But if I were you, I'd stay focused on helping Snyder continue his universe. Even if we gotta do it by having some changes made for his vision on how the rest of the story can be set up. And again, Man of Steel 2, which I would like as a live action film that I would like to have title changed to Cousins of Steel, should be our first priority. Because we want to see Brainiac, Silver Banshee, and Metallic go head to head with Superman and Supergirl in live action. And maybe others too. And if we don't get a Green Lantern movie with Jon Stewart, at least we can get a live adaptation focused on Jessica Cruz, who would have much more passion, more drama, and more interesting backstory for people to enjoy, to get to know. As well as having her, along with Hal Jordan and this guy called Simon, teaming up against a villain called Dr. Polaris, and then followed by a Flash sequel that I would recommend having Grant Gustin or Barry Cohen replacing Ezra Miller, and having him go up against Jonathan Whitworth playing Eobard Thawne, also known as Professor Zoom, based on the New 52 Flash vs. Zoom comics, which I bought a storyline out of because I find it interesting. And if Ben Affleck were to come back, I'd prefer to break his Batman movie up into three films so we can get more of characters from his lore onto the big screen for the first time. Then go with Black Adam 2 to base the film off the Endless Winter storyline. And from there, we would have Wonder Woman 3, a Val Zardell's World film, a second Batman movie, which would be based on Night Quest and Night's End, and then Justice League 2, along with Black Adam vs. Superman, and Justice League 3. Now remember, if we are to get the Snyderverse restored with Zack being able to deliver onto the live-action big-screen characters that have been long overdue since the 80s, not only do we need a plan to raise awareness to many of those who are not around the globe, who are not willing to sacrifice too much on behalf of our leaders and their big donors, especially BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, over their self-interest, but also make on how we can compromise on getting them to cooperate with Zack, and perhaps getting these BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street out of our movie industry. More specifically, getting them to pull all their funds of ESG out and having people who are more responsible or more willing to deliver without that don't have that much investment in trillions like Musk, Berkshire, and Tryon take, and maybe even one of the media groups that are looking to buy Paramount to jump in and help liberate these movie studios, and as well as getting everything sorted out. There's a lot we need to do first before we can actually restore the Snyderverse. Lots more. Even if it has to take place in a parallel universe to make sure the cinematic story of Zack's vision continues. Thank you. Good night to my fellow fans of Zack's, and be sure to subscribe to my channel at Avengers Rising on YouTube, and be sure to go see Zack's upcoming movie, Rebel Moon the Scargiver. Thanks.